Meanwhile, I'm just getting on the Baccarat Rouge 540 hype train. I'm several years too late. Yeah, I just smelled it in Saks for the first time a few weeks ago. I've tried so many dupes. If you watch my videos, I have dupes. I've smelled dupes. I liked the profile. I was chasing it, but I had never smelled the original Baccarat until I was in Saks a few weeks ago with my mother, and we both fell in love with it, and now we both want it. And it's not cool anymore. No, it's still a great scent, but just not the hype one anymore. And the hype one, the good news is I would say it's a lot more accessible financially than Baccarat. Although the drawback, bad news, is that it has definitely a more feminine profile. And if you're a fella, you can absolutely wear whatever you like. But the new hot off the presses hype train fragrance has a distinctive feminine energy to it. So what is it and where did it come from and why are we talking about it? Yeah, so where did it come from? It really came out of the gate slow. And 2 years later it's taken off like wildfire. So Mont Blanc Signature was actually released in 2020. So maybe at first it was a victim of COVID, but word has gotten out. And if you look at it, it's like inflation right now. Like inflation's like, that's the bad news. But also the popularity of Mont Blanc Signature has also gone from like cold blue and Fragrantica to hot, red hot there. So it did seem to catch fire very quickly. I'm dropping it. And like most fragrance heads here, I had to go out and smell it, and I had to get myself a decant of it at Nordstrom, and I'd been sampling it for about a month. So Mont Blanc Signature, like I mentioned, does have a lot of feminine energy to it. They're making no bones about who they're targeting with it. They're really going for people who want to have a very hyper feminine type of fragrance. It's not something that they're, I don't think, attempting to do anything experimental with. I would not say that. I think they are going for something crowd pleasing. And they're going for something that has a signature to it. It's called Mont Blanc Signature. So they do want it to be distinctive. And I think they pull it off. In terms of having something that's both crowd pleasing but also distinctive, you get your classics out there in that designer space. Where you've got, everyone can say, oh, that's J'adore, for example. That's Miss Dior, whatever it is, you've got the La Vie Belle. In the designer space, you've got these very distinctive scents and they become classics. And I think Mont Blanc Signature has that potential. It really does. I think there's a timelessness to it. And as I mentioned, it doesn't smell generic in that way, but it's also crowd pleasing. So if that sounds appealing to you, you might want to catch this hype train. So the actual notes, if you look at Fragrantica, it has a top note of clementine, and I get that for sure, but it wears off very quickly. I've heard this described too as artificial, a little, not in like that. It's a Febreze air freshener to me. I've heard some people say that it reminds them of that, but I do think it burns through very quickly. I'm spraying it now. I've got precious little left. Oh, yeah, your first whiff is very citrusy. And that you burn through that quickly. So if you are looking for a strong citrus scent for the spring or summer, it's probably not this. It's a bait and switch in that way, if you know what you're getting into here. So the clementine burns out very quickly, and then it becomes very flowery. Not like a potpourri flowery. There's still like a touch of modernity to it. A lot of fragrances that have the flowers get that church lady, old lady accusation thrown at them. I think this still reads youthful and modern and floral. And then the dry down, which happens for me at least about a half an hour in, the flower dies down a little bit and you get more of a musky vanilla with still a touch of floweriness to it. But I mentioned it's distinctive. This is something where if I smelled somebody wearing it, I would know that they're wearing Mont Blanc Signature. I could pick this one out of a crowd, which I enjoy. Now, here's the caveat. So, is this a safe blind buy? I guess, I'd say for like a hype train, if you really want to get on the hype train, I have to buy it. I want to buy it now. Is it a safe blind buy? Kind of. I think it kind of is. I have seen detractors, so people saying that they find it, I've heard it even described as a scrubber. Some people say that it wasn't what they were looking for, that had artificial turned sour on them. And not everything is going to be a love for everybody. But I think if you know what you're getting into in terms of it being a floral, amber, musky fragrance with that feminine energy to it, if you know the backstory there, I think there's like an 87% chance that you're going to like this fine. Might not be disappointed if you have it built up in your head from the hype. That it's not maybe what you were picturing. I've had that experience before where in my mind, I think I had it with Delina. I love Delina now, but I had it in my mind what I thought it was going to smell like. And then when it didn't smell like that, I was a little disappointed. So that might happen to you. But ultimately, I think you would like the fragrance if you know what the notes are and what they're going for, because I think they pull it off. And it's very wearable. So 87% chance of it being a safe blind buy. Also, I've heard that it's overpriced. I think there's places where it is overpriced. If you look, I don't know which, I know I've got international viewers here, so I can't speak to the purchasing environment where you are. For me, I can get it overpriced. I can get it, like the Nordstrom one is a little bit overpriced. But I also have options where I could get it at a pretty decent discount where I would say it'd be worth it, that it's wearable enough and distinctive enough that it would be well priced. So where does it get the overpriced hurled at it? I think it's because of the projection and the longevity. So that's always, an area for me where I get disappointed. My expectations might be too high based on some real powerhouses that I have, and a lot of people in the fragrance community, and are going same, same. But this one, it's true. It's not a projection powerhouse, but that's how some people prefer to wear their perfumes. So if you do have somebody that wants that beautiful, crowd pleasing, sexy perfume that becomes a signature day-to-day scent where they could wear it to work, wear it to strolling in the garden, wear it on a date. But they don't want to choke out everybody in the room or, have that ciliage 9 feet away. This is a good fit for that. If you did want it to be a beast mode, it's not. It's really not. It's smellable. If somebody hugs you, comes near, and comes in your little circle here, I think they will smell it. I think they will like it. But it's not going to overpower a room. They're not all designed for that. I don't know why I'm so much more forgiving of this one than I am some other ones that I've reviewed. Maybe it's not fair. And the longevity too. I think people could definitely be disappointed in the longevity. It is one you would probably have to reapply or overspray if you want to get a couple of hours out of it. I've seen people layer it too. I think it's something that, like Baccarat, we're going to start to see body sprays or lotions that kind of mimic the scent profile that'll pair well and maybe help it last a little bit longer. But I do think it's one you'd want to toss in your purse and reapply if you want to keep that vibe going with you throughout the day. So that's another place where you might find it to be overpriced in that way. But yeah, so overall, I am pleased with this one. I do plan on picking it up. I'm not going to pay the real high price for it, but if I find a good price and the right moment, I will likely pick up a bottle. I can see myself wearing this in the warmer weather, even to work. I think it's something that it's wearable and flexible enough. Yeah, so I think it's like in the name, a good signature scent for somebody who wants a hyper feminine type perfume that really combines that musky, amber, hugginess skin scent with the best of florals and just a little bit of citrus, just a little bit. Don't get your hopes up high there. I hope you've enjoyed this review. If you do, please like it. If you enjoy all manner of fragrance content, please subscribe to Second is the Best. I have been uploading super sporadically. Hopefully pick that up a little bit. But again, I upload whenever it strikes my fancy. So if it doesn't strike my fancy, I don't upload. So that is all for this one. I will see you in the next one.